Welcome back to another Bellingham home tour, and today we find ourselves in the historic neighborhood of South Hills, overlooking Fairhaven and the San Juans. Wait till you take a peek at this one. Let's go. Welcome to 1015 14th Street on the historic South Hill neighborhood of Bellingham. Again, fantastic neighborhood. Let's go take a peek. This turn of the century home is bound to impress. Classic front door with the panes. This is a great Bellingham day to take a tour because although we are currently at the time of filming in the beginning of summer, we're just finishing up May and heading into June. This is sometimes a more typical day for much of the year. A little bit of dreary gray, some cloud cover out there, and but you can tell on a house like this is why these homes can take such a price tag. We're looking out over Portage Island, Lummi Island, Orcas Island, everything in the north area, through these tree lines. That's you're looking up towards Blaine, Birch Bay, and Canada. So a beautiful picture window in the sitting area. Again, look at how much light. I do not have currently any lights on other than a couple in different rooms, but you can see how the natural light just flows right in. So we come in here into a great big grand kind of family dining room area. You can see the coffered ceilings. And these, I am going to guess, are original. So these are not your faux things that you see in today's new stuff just to dress things up. This was built turn of the century, and I think you're going to see the craftsmanship throughout. We're looking out here over the side yard. Take a look. I mean, even down to the detail of the radiator heaters. Beautiful, beautiful. We sit among several churches. Again, we're sitting right above Fairhaven. So walkability is fantastic to a certain extent. So just down the hill, you've got the Firehouse Coffee Shop. You've got literally downtown Fairhaven, if you want to call it downtown. All the trail systems down to Boulevard Park. We are on the west side of Seaholm Hill. But I will say, I had the opportunity to live here for about 3 years. In college, I lived, we're here just down from Western Washington University. And in college, I lived up on South Hill. But as an adult, I had a chance to live here for 3 or 4 years. Absolutely loved it. But I will tell you, in terms of walkability, you are still on a hill. So you will get your steps in, and a little bit of climbing will just make you more fit. So we're going to walk in here. Obviously, turn of the century. We've got solid corridors. This would be how they've converted it into your main floor primary. So in here, you can see we've got updated windows, vinyl windows in here, but we've retained the character, tall ceilings. This one hasn't been painted, so it's kind of got this yellow paint to it, which is great. Over here, we've got a walk-in closet. So you can tell there's been some modernization and customization over the years, so that rooms weren't as big as they are now. Bathrooms weren't as big, kitchens, closets, all that kind of stuff. And so you can see how they've kept the character and everything, but updated it significantly. So here's your full bath. You do have this wood wrapped bathtub, so it's going to take some care. In here, you've just got a little linen closet. And then we come back out, and look, you come out of your bedroom in the morning, and that is what you're looking at. You're looking out at Bellingham Bay. Fantastic. I'll tell you more stories about kind of looking at that, the different times of year and the seasons here a little bit, so stay tuned. But I want to show you the kitchen first. So check out this kitchen. You come through here. Where do we start? So they've done a nice job. Somewhat of a galley style, but open. So it's Don't know if this comes across. It's not, it's a little bit narrow, but plenty of, I mean, look at all the cabinets. So you don't have any upper cabinets other than these open shelving. But look at the amount that you have down here. It's fantastic. You've got pullouts, so you can maximize all your space. Got a little nook here for your microwave. Beautiful, beautiful range and hood. And we pan back around. Modernized again with a dishwasher. Having lived in a home, so the home that I lived in was built in the 1920s. This one was built in 1903. So there's about a 20-year age difference. I will tell you, kind of the funny story is it did not have a dishwasher other than these hands. Again, beautiful use of space. This is currently listed at $1.325 million. Look at this. Again, letting in all the natural light on what would arguably a gloomy gray day in Bellingham. Little window looking back into that closet. So again, you can see where some of the restoration and modernizations come in. There's one of your heat sources right there. We're going to save that door for last. Pantry. This home has been significantly updated. Prior to this current owner, this home housed the same family for, I believe, over 60 years. They raised a family. I can see why you would not want to move. I'll go over some of the updates here shortly. But in the last several years, they have done significant updates. And it's honestly, it's all the stuff a savvy buyer wants done. A new novice type buyer, and it's easy for all of us human beings to just look at kind of the eye candy, right? The neat stuff, the paint colors, the design, the aesthetics. But a savvy buyer, especially on a turn-of-the-century home, wants to know what the guts are like. What are the non-sexy things that are super expensive that have been taken care of? And this home has had significant stuff, so you can feel very, very satisfied, very confident in this build. So we are looking south towards Fairhaven. And there's the Chuckanuts. This is the parking lot for the churches. So it's empty other than typically Sunday morning. Let me pan back. Again, huge upper level room with beautiful views of the bay. Again, we've got updated vinyl windows up here. Your radiant system. Some of the old homes with the radiant system have huge and honestly somewhat obnoxious radiator systems. This is nice and compact. So again, you get the nostalgia of that, and but it's not overwhelming. Big walk-in closet. Plenty of shelving. Bedroom number 1. There is attic storage. I am not going to go up there today. Maybe you can convince me to come back. Make a note in the comments so that this place doesn't sell in time. Here's a second bedroom again. Large. Very, very large. Some built-in shelving here. They've got a little rail system here. And again, like a little closet space. Small window over here, but even this small little room, you're looking out towards Fairhaven and the island. So you're looking at Orcas Island, and the Chuckanuts again, kind of hidden behind that cloud cover, and that tree sits right there. Cool, cool area. So small little window, but you situate your bed right, and that's what you're waking up to. Third bedroom upstairs at the end of the hallway. This might be, they've got it set up as an office. It's a little bit smaller, so it could either be a kid's bedroom or, as they've done, a kid's office, or I'm sorry, an office. Cool little architecture with the roof line, kind of makes it a little bit more unique. Just cool little details. Huge closet here shelving in this one, and then you've got some above storage as well. And then to take care of all your restroom needs up top, they've remodeled up here, so you've got a full bath. Now check this out. So you got everything from cool lighting, subway tile. It's not true subway tile, but it's made to look like it so that, you know, it does really well in the bathroom. Great shower head. You know, I like a good shower and bathroom area. Just a little, look at this detail. Cool cabinets throughout. Got some uplighting. Then you look up. I don't know if you can see this, but again, taking into account the roof line, skylight, keeping the character of the turn of the century home, but making it modern. How cool is that? I might be a little biased having lived here for on South Hill for three and a half years, but I certainly loved my time here with great memories, and the location you just cannot beat. And again, I'll talk to you a little bit more about location once we finish up inside, and I'll take you outside. But let's head down to that door that I promised to show you what was there in the kitchen. So just a quick interruption before we do head downstairs. I did want to introduce myself. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Sean Hackney. I came up to Bellingham in 1989 to attend Western Washington University and figured I would be up here for 3, 4, 5 years and turn around and head back to my original home. And now here we are, decades later, 30-some, probably coming up on here about 40 years later. I am still here. I have fallen in love with it, and I hope that you do too. On this channel, I like to use my background in education, coaching, finance, communication, and English to bring you the best of the best, to show you the details, all the insides and outsides of different homes around our area, but be your local expert for Bellingham and Whatcom County. But now, let's go take a look at that door in the kitchen. Okay, so we're back in the kitchen. I had mentioned or shown you this before. I did want to mention that this was all kind of updated and remodeled here in 2026 in terms of all the appliances. And then a lot of, we talked about the, I'm just going to say it, the non-sexy work that a savvy buyer on a turn-of-the-century home should be looking for. And that's actually where we're headed. That door in the kitchen takes us down to this very, very large basement. Because of the topography of being on South Hill, you are building into, and a lot of these turn-of-the-century homes have these large basements. And back then when they first built, they weren't really thinking about waterproofing and doing all of those important things that we think about now. This was just a means to build the structure above. So as recent as 2024, they put an inordinate amount of money, again, into the non-sexy stuff that a savvy buyer is looking for. So I'm down here in the basement again. They had this basement lime washed in 2025. They had the whole basement was waterproofed by Foundation Restoration in 2024. They put in a French drain around it. So they have done all the important things to waterproof this basement area so that it's usable. Again, a lot of these homes on South Hill that are turn of the century, they just were not designed back in the day for that. So this is quite impressive what they have done. And it's the things that a lot of people don't look for. Down to, I mean, this hot water tank installed in 2021. They did basement wall stabilization. They replaced posts and footings, and they seismically retrofitted it back in 2024. They've encapsulated any asbestos down here. So a lot of these pipes back in the day were asbestos, and they've been encapsulated professionally by a company here in town, and they've done a wonderful job. You can tell it looks like they had it set up in this area. So they added this insulation in the basement, and then they made this into basically a little TV movie theater type setup, and with some heating right over here as well. So pretty impressive. You've got an exterior door taking you outside that we are going to go take a peek at now. So let's finish off taking a peek at the outside. Here we are at street level. Again, we're looking south down. If you go just down the hill a couple of blocks, you're going to hit Fairhaven and the Firehouse Coffee Shop, which is great. If you head this direction, you've got the school. Western Washington University sits up top, and then you're really close to all the trail systems just down below. But this, we didn't get a chance to take a peek at the two-car garage down below. Plenty of parking out here. And then just what a grand entrance. You can see all the homes in this area on South Hill have been really, really well taken care of. And just a beautiful grand entrance. Let's go this direction. So again, there's something pretty special about just living the history of all these homes in South Hill. If you go back and do any research about Bellingham, this area is one of the originals in terms of where all the history of Bellingham started, which is pretty cool. All these houses have such a great story. They've got decking out here, which is great. You got to have the white lights. That's just kind of so typical with an older home. It does have a little bit some siding paint that needs to be done. Part of the distress, I would say, on some of these homes, I mean, this is your weather side, so that's not uncommon at all. This is what, but some of the distress is just, I mean, you're talking, it's 120 some years old, and to see how well though it's been taken care of. So maybe a little paint here. Great patio area. We'll take a look back here in a second, but look what they've done. Can you imagine you're sitting out here in the morning with your morning coffee, your evening wine or adult beverage with the white lights on, and you're looking out here at Orcas, Lummi, Portage Island. The sunsets here are amazing if you haven't been here. During we hit the summer months, when the sun, there's a point of time where the sun starts to go down over the horizon, and it hits the exact right angle, and it reflects off of the bay, and it literally, I don't lie, just lights up all of South Hill. Western Washington University sits up behind us, and there was one time I was in college, and there's an overlook up there, and I happened to be there right when it happened, and the library was behind me, an old historic building itself, full of windows. And when that happened, when the sun hit the bay and reflected up for those few minutes, everybody who had filled the windows of the library, Wilson Library, and it just erupted in people clapping. It was just as nature standing ovation. It was pretty awesome. So, new patio. They've got this pergola here. These things are fantastic. I can't talk enough about these. You can keep them open. You can shut them. You also have this privacy screen as well. And so it allows you to enjoy the outdoors year-round, even in somewhat of our inclement weather. Here's your back door into that little kitchen nook, into the kitchen right there. There's the other side coming up from the main area. And let's walk up here. Again, they say that real estate's location, 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 and South Hill is one of the definitions of location, location, location. Again, even from this upper area, you're looking out over Bellingham Bay, and look how gorgeous it is, even on kind of a gray, cloudy day. What's really cool is everybody loves the sunsets, everybody loves the great weather, but I will tell you, a lot of times the weather's coming in from kind of the southeast. It's blowing in from the south and coming in. I guess it's coming from the west, headed east towards us. And oftentimes you'll see the weather hang up on the islands. And there was one time we had just beautiful weather. It's a little chilly, but we were still in shorts. And we had this view. And you could see the storm coming in up over the island, and thunder and lightning were striking. Lightning was striking at the top of the island, and it was just one of the most magical moments of my time here in Bellingham. Come up here, you have a back gate that takes you to some alley access. Look at that. So again, your garbage and recycles are here. So you have access here and then into your backyard. So that's 1015 14th Street in the historic South Hill neighborhood of Bellingham. Tell me what you think down in the comments. Price $1.3 million in Bellingham. For a heck of a lifestyle. So thanks for coming along with me on another Bellingham home tour in the prestigious, historic South Hill neighborhood of Bellingham, just sitting up here above Fairhaven. As you've seen, cool historic house, great remodel, beautiful location. Now I know it's kind of weird to maybe reach out to somebody that you don't know or you just met here on YouTube, but it happens each and every day. If you'd like information, a private tour on this home or any others in Bellingham or Whatcom County and as far south as Skagit County, please feel free to reach out. Let me know. Make some comments down in this comment section below and I'll be happy to respond to them. And until next time, we'll see you later.